Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Marion. I do fashion DIY videos. So today let's cut and sew this beret hat. That's how it's looking. Yeah, if you're interested to know how to make this, yes, let's get into it. So I started by doing the patterns. I have 3 pieces, starting with the top part, which is a circle for the top, which has a radius of 5 inches. So I just folded the fabric twice and I'm going to mark out 5 inches from that corner and cut it out. So this is the pattern for the hat, the top part of the hat. For the sides, I'm going in and I'm cutting a similar circle, 5-inch radius circle. And then after that, I'm measuring 2¼ inches from the outer edge going in like that, and I'm going to cut that out and work with the remaining piece. So for this side pieces, they're going to be 2, 1 for each side. So for now I'm going to cut out equally, like the 3 pieces equally, because I want to add some allowance on the inside curve. I want the inside curve to measure 11 inches, but right now it's around almost 10. So I'm going to open up these spaces that I've cut out, adding 0.5 inches so that I can have around 11. Finally I have 11.5, because right now without the extra it was 10. So if I add 0.5 on each space, I have 11.5 inches on the inside curve. Like that. So just measuring to make sure I have it. Yes, that's 11.5, and I'm going to cut it out. So the outer curve has remained the same. We just added on the bottom curve, and these are going to be the side pieces, and I'm going to cut 2 when I'm cutting the fabric. So that's it. The third pattern that you're going to do is for the brim, and for the brim we're going to measure the bottom piece that we just made 11.5. So we're going to do 11.5 times 2, that's 23 inches. I'm going to make it 23 inches by 1 inch. (23 inches by 1 inch), and this is going to be the brim of the beret. So that's all the patterns. Yeah, my daughter woke up. I had to say hi to her before we start sewing or before we continue the tutorial. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Now this is the main fabric that I'm using, and I'm just going to cut out the pieces, adding ½ inch for sewing allowance. So that's one. This side, as indicated, I need 2 pieces, so I'm just going to trace this, and then when I cut, I'll put it on fold so that I have 2 pieces. And this 1 inch I'm going to cut on fold as well. So yeah, to make it easier, just fold the fabric, have enough room, and then I'm going to cut it out so that I have the 2 pieces all at once. And then for the brim, I'm going to put that 1 inch on fold, and then of course make sure I have an extra half an inch for the sewing allowance, and then I'm just going to cut it out. Yeah, make sure I have 23 inches plus the allowance for sewing. There we go. So these are all the pieces. So I went ahead and cut them out. I cut some lining as well and some interfacing. So I used fabric interfacing for the sides as well as the top part. And then I used this hard interfacing, also fabric, but the collar gum type of interfacing, really hard, for the brim. And yeah, these are the top pieces. I have the interfacing as well as lining. So next I'm going to iron the interfacing onto the main fabric. So interfacing, what interfacing does for me is just make the main fabric firm, because you don't want a very flimsy hat, so it's going to be a bit firm. And then for the fabric I'm using, this kitenge plaid fabric, the weave is really loose and the thread in the fabric is thick thread, and the weave is loose, so that means the fraying, it frays a lot. So by putting interfacing, we prevent the edges from moving too much while sewing, and that's one of the reasons I prefer to use interfacing on there. Anyway, so I have pressed interfacing on all of the pieces. Here we have them, as well as on the brim. I've pressed that interfacing with but for that I've left the sewing allowance without interfacing, and we can go into sewing now. To begin, I'm going to attach the sides pieces on the edges. I'll do the same with the lining. So whatever I do with the main fabric, I'm going to do the lining as well. So I decided to understitch the sides into place, just so that the sides on the top part lay flat the whole process. I didn't want to go to take the iron the whole time, so I decided to understitch those areas. Next, I'm just marking notches on the circular part so that I can sew them directly onto the side seams of the pieces on the sides. So my sewing allowance here is half an inch, because that's what I added for the sewing allowance. So yeah. So here we have the lining done. Next up is the main fabric. Same process, marking the notches on the sides. Oh, surely I do have bread. That's my daughter, y'all. Forgive the bread in frame. So marking the notches on opposite sides of the circle, then I'm going to put it on. And wait, what's this kid doing? Sorry about it. She's in training, forgive that. Let's move on. Okay, now she's gone. I put her away. So the same process, just attaching the side pieces onto the circular piece. Yes. So because the allowance is too big, I'm just going to reduce that a bit, and then I will understitch or top stitch that edge. So I'll top stitch such that the stitch shows up on the top part of the hat. So with that done, this is what we have. It's coming together. Now I'm going to put in the lining. So the wrong sides kissing, making sure the sides match so that the seam is lined up. And then I'm taking the brim, sewing the edges together to complete the rim, and then I'll put it inside like so. And then I'm just going to pin it all around. These are my pins. I'm just going to pin it all around the hat before I sew them. I sew all the pieces edges together. So as you can see, the fabric frays a lot. So for this edge that you're left with, I'm going to bind it. So yeah, we can't have that raw edge. So I'll use this binding, this regular binding, to bind the edge left behind there. Anyway, so this is it. This is the hat done. The binding was the last step, so let me just show you how it looks. That's the binding on the inside. Yeah, it keeps the thing from fraying, and there we have it. This is the hat. yeah, so if you want to try it out, as you've seen, it's really simple from the cutting all the way to here. And yeah, let me put it on now. So here we go. Yeah, if you're a beret girl or boy, or you know somebody who likes them, get a fabric of choice and make it. It's really simple. Yes. So see you next time. Bye. Yeah, thank you for watching.